gentlemen, welcome to the main event.
Let's get ready to rumble! This one by Mattingly. Oh, hang on to the roof. Montana looking, wrong in the end zone. 5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes! Little roller up along first. Behind the man. It gets through Butler. Here comes Knight and the Mets win it.
Yes, it's getting a phone call. It's like as soon as I did this, I started getting a phone call. I'm like, oh, is this important? I don't know what's going on. Anyway, this is Sports and Sorts, episode 173. It is a Monday morning, about almost 10-ish. We said we were going to be going live at around 9:45-ish, and we usually go to bed at 10-ish, so it's close. It's in the ish range. So if you like our videos, be sure to give them a thumbs up and click on that subscribe button so you can figure out when exactly we go live-ish. You can find Sports and Sorts anywhere podcasts are played, or visit our website at www.sportsandsorts.libsyn.com. And I am one of your hosts. My name is Shane Moore.
And I'm the Brian Man.
And you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Shane and the Brian Man, or on Twitter at Shane and Brian Man, where we post all of our videos and other newsworthy topics. And lastly, if you comment during the show, we will get it on the screen. And today, we are going to be talking about the MLB rankings. We're going to be getting into all of them today. We're going to briefly touch on 2 through 5 and kind of focus on number 1. And who is going to be number 1? It could be different for both of us, so we'll see how that works out. And also, we will be talking about Gronk retiring and how this will impact the Patriots, if at all.
And a quick, as we go out, a quick Shazam review, because I saw Shazam 2 weeks early on Saturday night. So we'll get that in the outro.
Shazam! All right, we got a great show.
Shazam!
Let's go.
You are listening to Sports and Sorts with Shane and the Brian Man.
Wow, coming in hot today.
Look at our man Clint. He is so loyal to this show, man. It is a cool 6:56 in the AM out there in Washington, and he is listening and watching. Thank you, Clint. We love you.
You got your coffee. I got my coffee. We can cheers. Here you go. Cheers, Clint.
I had my coffee.
So he should be excited that the Gronk is retiring, because that helps us Bills fans out. All right. So let's get into it. We got to talk about a lot of baseball today.
Play ball!
A lot of baseball. I have
Opening week.
Yes, it is.
Thursday.
Starts Thursday night, and it just goes day after day after day after day after day after day after day. I'm so excited.
Until October.
I'm so excited. I have not even been watching much spring because, as you know,
Watched a little bit.
I don't like a lot of. I have a hard time watching sports that aren't at their highest level. And that's why I'm not a big fan of college
like watching
sports.
preseason football. It's
Right.
kind of
it's a little,
all you're hoping for your teams is to get out of camp healthy.
and
It's
we
like,
have
that's
not done that.
No, the Yankees have not done that.
But I will say, wait, Damien's here too. Whoa, what's going on? Damien's here today?
No
I
school
wouldn't
today?
be listening if I didn't have a toddler. I'd be sleeping on spring break.
Ah,
being a
spring break.
teacher.
Yes.
Ah, that's right.
Very
He's a
good.
teacher, so he's on spring break. All right.
Well, he picked a good episode to be honest. We're doing all baseball, so
Yeah, good job. So he might not be. I guess. We'll have to see where he feels about our picks today. So let's get into this. We got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to break down. We're going to start off in the West, and we're going to work our way from the West to the Central to the East, because I feel that the East is going to be a very tight division in both spots. I think the toughest one for me was actually the NL Central, but
that was the toughest one for me too.
it was a tough one. I think it's going to be.
And the
I think
NL
it's going to be
East,
just
those are my
a
toughest.
completely tight race from top to bottom in the NL Central.
Yep.
But so let's get into this. Let's start off. We'll start off into the NL West, and I think this one's probably the easier of the two. He says, you're wrong, whatever your opinion. Damien. All right. So let's get into this. I think that the NL West, we're going to start it off. I'm going to give off 1 through 5, and then we're both going to just we're going to breeze over it 1 through 5 real quick.
Yes.
And then we're going to get into, we'll talk about number 1 for for about a minute or two. All right.
Yeah,
so,
fine.
1 through 5, I have the Rockies at 99 and 63. I just feel like them and the addition of Daniel Murphy, I think they're going to be raking as they usually do. And I expect Freeland to have another good year. Dodgers only added A.J. Pollock. They lost some key factors with Puig and Kemp, and who were big for them last year. But I do think Buehler is going to come up, and he's going to be huge this year. Buehler. And then Padres 87 and 75. I don't know if I said it. Dodgers 92 and 70. Giants 79 and 83. Diamondbacks 78 and 84. I think you could flip flop those. It wouldn't really matter. They're both going to have they'll be sitting on the outs for most of the season this year. Big losses.
Wow.
All right. What?
Well, we're already
Agreement?
differing.
Oh, we're different.
We're
different.
which is good.
All right.
It's good for us not to be in agreement. It's better for the show.
Who do you got?
All right. I still have the Dodgers, to be honest, in control of this division. I didn't come up with records. I apologize for that.
That's all right.
But I got the Dodgers in control of the division. They lost a couple of guys. I agree with you, but they also were very unhealthy last season too. They had a lot of injuries. I mean, Justin Turner was hurt a lot. Corey Seager was hurt quite a bit. Rue was hurt. They were missing a lot of key guys, and they're going to be healthy to start the season. And I just think between Turner especially, the guy missed over 100 games last year. So, and I think Seager didn't miss quite as many, but even still, I still think this is the Dodgers division. I mean, they've won this division for 6 straight years. You know how I am. I'm I'm that prove it guy. I'm not going to believe it till I see it sort of deal. Mm-hmm. So, to me, this is still the Dodgers division. Very close, though. I mean, if I had gone records with this, I would have said it's going to be very close because I got the Rockies right behind them. And then I've got the Padres, who I believe eventually are going to have the best infield in baseball. I'm still going with that. I think in 2 years they're going to have the best infield. Mm-hmm. And then I got D-backs and Giants to round it out.
Okay. Yeah, I think that
we're not horribly far off.
No. But I think I'm with you with the Padres. I think not only that, but I think there's going to come a time in the next 2 years where Manny Machado isn't even the best player on the left side of the field.
Agree. Tatis will be.
Yes, I think.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
And that's good. That'll be good for them, by the way. If Manny Machado's not the best player on the left side of the infield for the Padres in 2 years,
that is huge.
That team's going to be really good.
They're going to be good, and they should be making some noise, as long as they can keep up with that payroll. All right, now let's get into the AL West. We got Astros. I think we're both going to have this one's going to be easy. Astros, I have them going 97 and 65. The addition of Michael Brantley, I think, is great. They lost, obviously, Keuchel so far. We don't know what's going to happen with Keuchel, but and then the Mariners, I have them finishing second, which I was kind of torn with this one. I have the Mariners finishing in second. Edwin Encarnacion, and I think he's going to have a good season there, off in anonymity in Seattle. I think he'll have a good season. I have the Angels finishing in third at 83 and 79. I have the Mariners at 85 and 77. Them adding Cody Allen, I think, is a big deal, and I think obviously having Trout for a long here is going to be huge. I think Matt Harvey's going to actually pitch pretty well for them too. Athletics, I have them finishing 82 and 80. Fourth in the division. I did not believe in them last year. I do not believe in them this year. And I think that their young squad is going to be kind of floundering a little bit. And I have the Rangers finishing at 71 and 91 at the very bottom of the barrel. They have no hope for them whatsoever this year.
Okay. So we're a little different here. Obviously, the Astros are going to win this division with their eyes closed. I mean, I just don't see any scenario under which that changes. Too strong. Even with the guys they lost, even with Keuchel being gone, even with Marwin Gonzalez being gone, I mean, just having Cole and having Verlander, and Verlander was just extended, by the way, 2 years, $66 million. Having those two guys still at the top of your rotation, you're going to pile up wins. You're going to get innings out of them. They'll provide, they'll be able to Those guys can go 6, 7, 8 innings, and that will save your bullpen on nights when they pitch. It's just too deep of a team, and obviously they're still loaded in their lineup. After that, I actually have Oakland. I believed in Oakland last year. I still believe in them a little bit. I'm not quite ready to suppress them yet further down in this division, although I do believe the third-place team, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, wherever.
Lost a Manaya, who did they add? Who's on their team besides Chris Davis and Matt Chapman? Who do they got? It's nothing.
But I guess my problem is
mirrors.
I don't know, though, that the other teams that were below them really got all that much. I mean, Seattle got Kikuchi, but they did lose Cano, and Cano was productive there. I mean,
he didn't play half a season.
He did well. That was steroid related,
right? But he didn't play half a season, and they still played well.
They still played well, sure.
And then they added Encarnacion to replace Nelson Cruz.
Yeah, I mean, King Felix is completely done.
Oh well, yeah,
he's wiped.
But Kikuchi's there. I was actually my whole thing is I was actually toying with was Angels going into second place. I actually had them possibly finishing in second this year.
Yeah, I was close on that one too.
That's why I had 85 and 77 to 83 and 79. I was actually, I actually had to pull myself back from the Trout bandwagon here, the Trout fandom that I have of his. And I had to be like, he's not going to supply them with 92 wins this year or something ridiculous like that. Just pull it back. So I could have easily put the Angels.
Well, I don't think we can get caught up in the story that he signed a contract extension.
But they got Cody Allen too. I mean, that's a good sign.
They need a healthy Shohei Ohtani all year too. Mm-hmm. I mean, there are some things there that you're gonna have to.
They need Harvey to pitch well, and they need Cody Allen to come back. And, play.
So I mean, I still have them third. I have the Angels third. I've got Seattle and Texas rounding out the bottom. Texas could be all
right. Now let's get into the more difficult divisions here. NL Central. I have this as the toughest one. This was just ridiculous. Yes, I know Piscotty. This was my toughest. Damian's coming in with Piscotty. Had a 900% OPS after June 1st last year. Don't sleep on that bat. Yes, I believe that he could potentially be a good bat, but he still only did it for half a season. So, let's slow it down a little bit on Piscotty.
Yeah.
I have to wait to see it for a full year and a half to 2 years for him to me be a full believer in it. All right.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get into the NL Central. I
want to just say the NL Central, there are 3 teams. Any of them you could pick any of them from first and make a really good argument. This is a struggle.
I think the one that I have, everybody's going to be shocked about this one, but not really because I just feel like it's another smoke and mirrors team. Cardinals, number 1, finishing in first place. I think the Cubs finish in second. I think Cardinals go 90 and 72. I think this is going to be really close, the whole division. They got added Goldie. I mean, that's huge. That's a huge addition. And
are keeping him.
Yes, for a while.
Which is great. That's my next jersey.
Cubs, they just will be winning on talent. I think 89-73. I think it's going to be close. I am really just Madden has just really kind of, I've lost it with him over the last year. I think he's trying to outthink himself now, which is just getting a little too crazy. I actually have the Cincinnati Reds finishing in third at 82 and 80 with Sonny Gray, Yasiel Puig, Kemp, all these guys that are going to, filling in the outfield and everything like that. And I think that their team is improved with Joey Votto. He's a talented first baseman. Obviously, the power numbers aren't there as they used to be, but I think he's good. And I think that they've added a lot in their rotation. A lot of 2s and 3s.
Alex Wood, Tanner Roark.
Right, a lot of 2s and 3s, but that is a much better. And in this division, I think they could eke out some wins. I have the Brewers finishing 81 and 81. They didn't add anything except for Yasmani Grandal this year.
Agreed.
I didn't think that they were that good last year. So, and that happens a lot where you're good one year and terrible the next. Pirates, I have them 79 and 83. They're another team that didn't really add a ton, so I just don't see them really making a ton of noise. But I do in this division. I just think that there's just a lot of good teams that are just going to beat the crap out of each other.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if like an 88, 89 win team wins this division.
Yeah,
it's very possible.
I have 90 72.
Because these teams are going to just pound on each other. We're not too far off. I'm with you with the Cardinals. I love the two big moves that they made this year, Andrew Miller and then trading for Goldie and extending him, which gives him some good peace of mind too. Which baseball is what 90% mental and whatever. I don't know, whatever Yogi's quote is,
50% physical and whatever Yogi.
Whatever Yogi said. But I think for Paul Goldschmidt though, just knowing that he's going to be there long term, I think there'll be no. It's not like, I'm playing in a contract year now. I think he can just, I think he'll be free and easy. He'll fit very nicely into that lineup with Carpenter too. So I got the Cardinals 1. I have the Cubs 2. Here's where we differ, and this is it. It's just I have the Brewers at least good enough to be in 3rd.
Yep.
And then I got Cincinnati and Pittsburgh rounding it out. But I don't know that any of these teams is going to be like atrocious. I still think that the Pirates could win 75 to 77 games.
If they win 50%, if they go 81-81, I wouldn't be shocked.
Right. I mean, it's possible.
I just don't see them winning 85 plus games.
No. I think 75. But even still, a 75 win team, although that's not a good team, that's not a horrible team.
No. I have it 90.
They may be one of the better of the last place teams in baseball.
I have it 90-72, 89-73, 82-80, 81-81, and 79-83. Those are that's my division right there.
That's not bad.
All right, now let's get.
I actually expect Cincinnati, even though I had them in 4th, I actually expect them to be at 500.
Yeah, I think they're going to be pretty good this year.
Pittsburgh maybe 10
but
to
good.
12.
Yeah. All right, let's get into the AL Central. Yeah. Indians, I have them taking first place at 90-72. The Twins, I have finishing in 2nd. I think the addition of Nelson Cruz, I think they just done a great job this offseason in general. Adding all these different players that they have really made a difference in their actual overall roster. The White Sox, I have the Twins 88-74. White Sox at 82-80. I do have them winning more games than I was originally thinking, but I just have a feeling that their young talent starting to come up. I think Moncada probably will have a little bit better of a time this year. Still going to strike out a ton, but I think his power numbers will show up. I think he's going to play decent in the field. And then I have them at 82-80. Tigers, I feel like they're going to come back this year and play a little bit better. I think Miggy's going to have a huge year, possibly an MVP candidate year.
Wow.
I think he's going to do 30, 100, and he's going to bat around 300 again. He's just going to have a huge year. He was on pace for that last year until he tore his bicep. And then I also think Jordan Zimmerman's going to come back and have a good year. I think he's going to come back. He actually had some surgery done where he's been in no pain this year, which is the first time in a long time for him. And if he can come back and even be 3/4 of what he used to be, that is a solid 2 or a 3. Whereas he has been pitching like a guy that you don't even want in your rotation. He's been pitching to like a 4 or 5 ERA, and he actually started to pitch a little bit better last year and had stints of being the old self. I expect him to have a good year this year. And the Royals, I have them at 70-92. You could say 65 wins, and I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think they're going to be a very good team.
No. Yep, I'm with you. We're a little different here. I actually have the Twins. Winning this division.
I could see that.
I kind of like their team on paper. I like the top of their rotation with Berrios and Gibson and Pineda, whatever.
I think he's going to be good. I think he's going to do well this year.
He's gotten even fatter. I watched him a little bit in preseason.
He's got knee issues, so that's good, right?
Yeah, I guess.
You're fat.
But look, the Twins did add the one guy I wanted the Yankees to get this offseason. If they had gotten nobody else at all, the one guy I wanted was Marwin Gonzalez because of his versatility, and the Twins got him. And the Twins, that'll be a big help for the Twins because he'll platoon a little bit out in left field, probably give Rosario a breather every now and then, but he will probably be at third base, I would think, actually most of the time on this team. But if you kind of go around their infield, you're probably looking at like Gonzalez, Polanco. I'm actually expecting Scope to have a bounce back year. I thought that was a nice.
I don't think he's going to have like a huge year, but I think he'll. But I can't imagine him being even remotely what he was last year, which was just awful.
I don't love their first base situation. I think C.J. Cron is like their starting first baseman, but they got Kepler, Buxton, and Rosario in the outfield, which isn't a bad outfield. I don't know. I feel like the Indians, I mean, you have subtracted Miller from that bullpen, even though he was very, unhealthy last year. Mm-hmm. But you've taken him out of that pen. Carrasco is gone from that rotation, right? And no, I'm sorry. They actually resigned him. Yeah. So actually, they still have. I mean, they still have Bauer. They still have Carrasco.
They have Danny Salazar too,
and of course, you still have Kluber.
They have Danny Salazar.
Yeah, Salazar. But I just kind of feel like maybe it's the Twins' time. I almost feel like the Indians, despite what they have, kind of rested on their laurels a little bit this offseason and thinking like, look, we have enough to still get by and win this division. I don't know if that's true. I don't quite know if that's true anymore. So, I mean, I think it'll be very, very close. I think it's one of those ones where, depending on the schedule, it could come down to the last game of the season kind of thing, which we saw plenty of last year. So, that's really the only, I think, primary difference I've got. I've got Cleveland at 2. I do have Chicago at 3. And then I've got the Royals and the Tigers rounding it out. Well, the Tigers, I mean, didn't Fulmer's getting, Tommy John?
Yep.
I mean, he was...
he's not good anyway.
I know he's not good, but, man, it's just like another... Yeah, but he was like one of their top 2 or 3 starters, and he's not even that good. That just... What does that tell you?
Shane Green's their closer.
I mean, I'd be...
They're going to be...
Awesome. If the Tigers win 60 games, I might consider that to be an accomplishment.
They'll win over 70 games.
Wow, I don't have them at that, but you've clearly got some more faith there than I do.
I do.
Kansas City's gonna be bad too, though.
Yes, they are.
I mean, those two are gonna be bad teams.
All right, let's get into the NL East, the cream of the crop here. The Eastern divisions here, which are the best of the best. NL East, I have number 1 overall. This
was tough for me too, because again, this falls into the Central category where you kind of could have picked any of one of 3 teams, I think, and
you could pick one of 4.
You could even pick one of 4 if you really want to.
You could really stretch it out. I mean, if you really wanted to put all the balls in the right,
if they really believe in the Mets staying healthy and things falling their way, I suppose you could include them. But
they could. There is not. You could not. You can't say that there isn't a chance that they will.
But what's crazy is that you could pick any one of these teams as 1 or 4.
Yes. So I have the Phillies, with the addition of Bryce Harper, being number 1 overall in their division, 95 and 67. They have made a huge addition. I think that is going to be not only a huge addition for the team, I think it's going to be a big impact in the clubhouse. I think it's just going to give that whole team a huge boost, with their coach and everybody just being all fired up as usual. It's just going to be I think their team's going to come out on fire. I have the Braves, the Phillies, I have 95 and 67. The Braves, with the addition of Donaldson, I have them at 92 and 70. I have a feeling, because Donaldson isn't going to be able to play a whole season. He is going to need some time off. My guess is he probably plays 130 games, maybe 140 if they're lucky. And he's one of those guys that I just feel like he could be really good. But there's also a chance he could just be a shell of himself. And that would be really unfortunate.
Chance he might not play at all. Who the hell knows?
I mean, he's been playing. I think he just hit his first home run this spring. But it's not. He worries me. So that's why I didn't give them the number 1 overall position, because that was their big addition, their real big addition. And other than that, I just don't. I mean, I like Nick Markakis too. I think he's going to.
My boy.
Freddie Freeman is one of my favorite players in the league. And I think both of those 2 guys are just going to have good years. Nick Markakis might have his best season ever in this particular lineup. He had one of his best seasons ever last year. And he did it last year. I think he had he
made his first All-Star game last year.
Yeah, he had like 100 RBIs. He was really good last year. I think he could do it again. And then I have the Nationals finishing in 3rd at 84 and 78. In addition of Corbin, that just solidifies their rotation as one of the best in baseball. And then you have the Mets in 4th at 82 and 80. Edwin Diaz, Robinson Cano. The problem is I just don't know about the health of this team. They have had some serious issues. You don't know what's going to happen with what's his face, the left fielder, all the diamonds. Why can't I remember his name? He's not going to play for like most of the season this year. He's been there.
Ooh, Cespedes?
Yes, Cespedes. Yoenis Cespedes. I couldn't remember his name.
Oh.
So he is.
All the diamonds. Was this like charades?
Yeah, exactly.
First word, 2 syllables?
Yes, he loses diamonds on the field. They have to pick him up, so they stop the game.
Scour the field for diamonds.
Yes, exactly. So he is, we don't know what's going to happen with him, with his health. Obviously all their rotational health. Who knows what's going to go on? So that's why I have them in 4th. And the Marlins are terrible. I have them at 59 and 103.
You got them at 59?
Yeah.
I would have had them at like 50. This will be quick. Copy, paste, repeat. Same thing.
Yep. Wow, that's Philly, Braves, Nationals, Mets, Marlins, huh?
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
That was easier than I thought.
There's nothing else to add. Move on.
All right. Then we go into the Yankees. As the first overall in the AL East. Woo! That's right. I have them going number 1 at 105 and 57. Addition of Paxton, Happ, LeMahieu. Yeah, they're going to go bananas this year. They are going to take it home.
Okay. Glad one of us has faith. Go ahead. I learned my lesson after last year. I picked the Yankees to win the division last year. It was a mistake.
Red Sox going number 2 in the division at 162. They didn't really add much. They got Evaldi. They brought
Evaldi back.
He's not good. He's not that good. Damien's already, that's optimistic, about my pick for the Paxton will start 15 games. Well, you'd be lucky if Evaldi does that too. All right. So, let's see. We got,
but Evaldi might pitch out of the bullpen though, too.
He might.
So you never know.
So mid-rotation help. They have. What are they going to put Stephen Wright back in the? Is he even back from steroids and stuff? I don't know. I don't even know. They have a decent rotation. They had Rodriguez. He's pretty good. I think that he's actually going to probably step up to me. They're probably number 2 starter because Porcello, I feel like he is just getting. He's in his 30s now. You have Evaldi, who's like around 30. You have David Price, who's in his mid-30s. You have Sale, who's around 30. All these pitchers are kind of getting on towards the end. I was happy as hell could be for that Sale extension. I was so happy because I feel like his arm is just going to dwindle down to nothing over the next couple years, and they are going to be saddled with that for a while because he's not going to be able to get a big contract when he is in the opt-out. So I'm happy about that. The optimistic crack was about the Marlins winning 59. Oh, okay. All right.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm with them on that. They could win 50.
Yeah, they could. It could be really bad.
That's going to be a huge team.
Trying not to be too hard on them. It's going to be terrible. There's a couple of teams that are going to be terrible.
Who is on that team? I'm actually trying to think if I can name a player on the Marlins right now.
Neil Walker, man.
Oh, shit. Is that where he is?
Starling Castro.
Sorry, I swore. My bad.
Starling Castro.
So that's right, poor Starlin. Oh my God, that poor guy. Boy, did the Yankees exile him. What did he do to deserve that?
They got some beasts. All right. So Blue Jays, I have in 3rd place at 86 and 76. I think that.
Whoa.
Yes. I have the Blue Jays finishing. I think with Vlad. I think he's going to come up sooner than you think. I think Bo Bichette is going to come up and he's going to have a good year. Danny Jansen is going to have a good year, and I think Marcus Stroman is going to have his breakout season.
Holy crap.
And I have the Rays.
What do you think Marcus Stroman is good at is tweeting.
I have the Rays finishing at 82 and 80. They only added Charlie Morton to a team of nobodies, and Orioles at 62 and 100, which is also optimistic for the Orioles.
Wow. Well, we're different in this division. Look. As far as Boston and New York goes, I'm picking Boston. I have to pick Boston this time. I learned my lesson last year. I picked the Yankees. That was a big mistake. And it was a big mistake because these teams were separated when all was said and done by, what was it? I don't know, 6-7 games. Mm-hmm. So, that's a pretty big gap. Granted, Boston Boston won 108 games. Will they win that many this year? Probably not, but I still think they're going to win over 100, and I still think it's going to be enough to win the division. My biggest problem when you compare these two teams is if you look at the areas where each team was better than the other one last year, primarily lineup, starting rotation, bullpen, as far as I'm concerned, nothing has changed. The Red Sox, to me, still have a superior lineup. Mm-hmm. They still have a superior starting rotation, and the Yankees have a better bullpen that got even better. But where did the Yankees really make up ground? I mean, the Yankees had this super pen last year. They have an even better one this year, you could argue, on paper. Did it result in them winning a World Series? And everybody, Damian himself included, was worried that the quote-unquote fatal flaw of the Red Sox last year was their bullpen, and it was not. And I said all along, and I'm gonna take some credit here. I'm gonna toot my horn because I said all last year during those shows, as we were leading up, that the Red Sox bullpen was gonna be a bend but don't break bullpen, and I was right. And the Red Sox won it all, and I said that nothing, including their maybe occasionally faulty bullpen, was going to be enough to prevent them from winning, and I was right. I'm sure Damian was glad that I was right. But you know what? I just don't see how that much changed this year. I mean, yeah, look, the Red Sox pen got a little weaker, and the Yankees pen got even stronger, but again, nothing changed, because the other two things I don't believe changed. I still think, also, I think the other thing that's going to kill the Yankees here, too, is they're going to start the season down 2 starters, and I just don't like the idea of Domingo Germán and Luis Cessa. First of all, how Luis Cessa is in baseball is a shock to me. Much less that he is one of 5 pitchers starting for a 27-time world champion team. I don't even care how many injuries are in that rotation. Luis Cessa should be nowhere near a big league ball club. I wouldn't even take him if I were the effing Pirates. I wouldn't want him on my team. How is Luis Cessa in baseball? Oh my God, Brian Cashford drives me bonkers.
I'm with you with Cessa. You know, we have gone on many of rants about Luis Cessa.
And then and Luis Cessa. Okay, so he's had a good spring. Do you know the kind of players that Luis Cessa is facing in spring training? Again, it's why you don't put any stock in spring training, because good hitters face bad pitchers and vice versa. I mean, Justin Verlander might go against like Aaron Judge for like 1 at bat in the entire preseason, and does it mean anything? No, it's garbage. Luis Cessa. I'd rather see him give Chance Adams a shot. Oh, I can't. I mean, Germán, I get his stuff is okay. Luis Cessa is just a dumpster fire.
I don't understand the not giving Chance Adams a shot.
I don't either.
Don't understand. I don't
either. There should have been a whole, hashtag give Chance a chance thing or something. But anyways, I've got Red Sox, Yankees, Rays. I think the Rays are going to be way better than you think, and they're going to be even peskier than usual with that damn rotation of theirs. And then I got the Blue Jays and the Orioles. The Orioles and the Marlins will be fighting each other for the toilet bowl record. It's going to be close. I still think
who are all these great pitchers in their rotation? Blake Snell and who?
You don't like Charlie Morton?
No,
I think that's a pretty good top 2.
No.
Charlie Morton with like 15 games last year.
Yes, for the Astros, who are a beast on offense.
I still think that's a good team. They made a couple of beneath the radar.
And Charlie Morton's like 35.
They made a couple of below the radar moves in their lineup too that I thought were pretty good. And I off the top of my head, it's escaping me, but I feel like the Rays are. I mean, is it ridiculous to say the Rays are going to come in 3rd place? I really don't think it is, and I think they're going to be pesky and more pesky than usual. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying they're gonna be past the Yankees or they're gonna win the division. I'm saying they're a 3rd place team, but they're gonna be a pain in the ass 3rd place team, like they usually are, but maybe even slightly more of a pain in the ass than usual. That's all I'm saying.
What kind of pain?
In the ass. A big one. Are we done with the AL East?
Yes, we are. Let's quick.
In 2nd place anymore.
Let's get into. No, it's not a safe bet. No, he said no, it's a safe bet. All right, let's get into this real quick. We're going to get into Gronkowski retires from football.
I have a couple of very quick thoughts on this, if you don't mind.
Let me hear what you got to think.
All right, number one, here's the thing, and I feel bad because this almost seems like it's contradictory. I think Gronkowski, when it all is said and done, will go down as the 3rd greatest tight end to ever play the game. I would put Tony Gonzalez and Antonio Gates above him, and that's it.
Shannon Sharp?
Shannon Sharp would be 4th.
Oh, okay.
He's 4th. A very close 4th. But yeah, he's in my top 3 tight ends all time. But what's weird about it is that his loss to the Patriots, to me, isn't going to really have much of an impact. I mean, the Patriots find ways. They have Gronk has been so injured in the latter part of his career, and the Patriots have played so many games without him, and the result has never been that much different, that I can't. It seems like this is where I feel like I'm contradicting myself, because I'm telling you he's probably the third greatest tight end ever, and I'm also telling you at the same time that his loss is not going to really negatively impact that team that much.
Right.
It's just not.
Yeah, I disagree, because he has turned himself into a really darn good blocker.
He's a very good blocker, yeah.
And he had made so many big catches for them, and they are going to lose that option. And that is a big threat. I mean, that is something that you no longer have to prepare for. Like, you do not have to prepare for Gronkowski as this huge, he's not as fast as he used to be, but this huge, big, fast, good-handed target that can block. You don't have to prepare for that anymore. That is a big deal. So I feel like it's going to be the problem is that he's in a division that's just not that great. So they're going to get their wins. You know, I mean, the Bills are up and coming, but they're still far, like at least a year or two away.
I mean,
the Dolphins are not great.
Spoiler alert for our NFL season preview: the Patriots are still going to win the division.
Yeah, probably. The Jets are up and coming, but they're still a couple, maybe a year or two away. I mean, they've made a very nice addition with Lev Bell, and you have your quarterback. That's big. But they still need receivers. They need people to block for Darnold. I mean, they have a lot that they need to still take care of before. So they're about a year away. So this coming year is not great for.
Yeah, I mean, it's not great
for people that dislike the Patriots.
Yeah, they're still going to win the division. Also, before we go out, very quickly, I just wanted to give a very, very quick Shazam review. I saw Shazam 2 weeks early. I had early access tickets, which was really cool. Loved this movie. Loved it.
Really?
Absolutely loved it. DC, you know what? It looks like DC is really doing a good job of starting over. And I will say this, DC does so much better with their individual movies than they do with their team-up movies. They really, when you could just focus, and Marvel has made a living off of this, except the Marvel team-up movies are unbelievable for the most part. But I love this. It was so lighthearted. It wasn't dark. It didn't take itself too seriously. You can see a lot of that in the trailers. It didn't have a lot of big laughs, but it had a lot of small laughs that kind of kept you, moving along the way. I loved Zachary Levi. I thought he was really great. I thought the kid who played young Billy Batson was really good. And then the other kid who was like the disabled kid who had like he was really funny too. The whole dynamic with the Foster family was excellent. They did a really good job with this movie. There's a great scene at the end, which they sort of teased in the middle of the movie, and I was like, oh, I really hope that scene happens at the end, and it did. It does have a couple of extra scenes. So there's a mid-credit scene, and then there's a after-credit scene.
That's cool.
So you want to stick around for those. But I like this. I think there's a definite setup for a franchise here for sure. And I think the mid-credit scene even kind of suggests that there is more to come. So really, really enjoyed this movie. Very well done. DC is clearly taken a step back and stopped taking itself so seriously for, maybe a movie or two here. But I will tell you that DC, I think they're starting to get better. You got between Aquaman, Wonder Woman, and Shazam, I really feel like you've got a strong core of movies there. You and I both still love Man of Steel. I think maybe we're starting to trend in the right direction here for DC, especially with those last three movies that I talked about though, because Wonder Woman was so great. You've got Wonder Woman 1984 coming out next year, and then and now you've got Aquaman and Shazam, which I think were both really good. I would give this 8.5 out of 10 Cinebros rating.
Ooh, that's pretty good. All right, my mother also chimed in with Yankees ! Exclamation point! She just loves the Yankees. I want to give her a shout out.
She hates me.
She doesn't hate you.
She'll like it.
That's not true. Yeah, everybody likes the Bry Man. Look at you. You're so happy and smiley.
Yeah, I'm trying to boost up Monday too.
Those dance moves that you had a couple shows ago, that was hot. You were breaking that out.
Oh, was that when we were singing R. Kelly's?
Yeah. I like all women.
I'm a man who loves all women.
All All right, so thank you guys for watching, listening. I hope you took this
the
in.
internet.
Appreciate it. You can always find us on Twitter at Shane and Bryman or Facebook.com/Shane and the Bryman. You can also hit us up on our website, which is www.sportsandsorts.libsyn.com. And you can find me on Twitter at EinhornIsFinkel.
You can find me on Twitter at _Bry_man.
And other than that, thank you guys for chiming in today. Thanks, Damien, for tuning in. Glad you have a little bit of a break. Sorry that you had to be up so early with the toddler. But, hey, you get to spend time with your kid during a weekday. That's phenomenal. And thank you, Clint, for showing up bright and early on the West Coast.
He was there at
appreciate it.
6:59.
Yeah, he was.
West Coast.
And thank you, Mom, for also tuning in. Appreciate it. Gotta love the family support. Gotta love that. All right, so thank you guys for watching, listening, however you took it in. We will see you again soon. Probably Friday. This week, Friday, probably. Normally Mondays and Saturdays, probably Friday.
Yeah, probably Friday. Yes, definitely Friday, because Saturday I'm gone. I'm gone.
He gone. Peace out.
I'm an older man who loves all women.